Good morning, all. Lovely to see you all as ever this Monday morning. So we're going to start our practice this morning coming into a comfortable seat. So however you choose to sit really, legs out in front, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on a block, cross-legged, however you feel. And once you've got there, just take a moment now to arrive. So just note how your body's weight is positioned, if it feels any imbalance either side of the pelvis. And don't worry too much about all that, but just noting how the body is feeling. No need to adjust or try to make things better, as it were, but just seeing this is your body. This is how it feels right now. And letting your body's weight relax downwards into your seat. And we'll take a deep out breath. And really let ourselves arrive. And allowing your eyes shut. We'll do the same again. Nice deep in breath. Then breathing out into the body, into the earth. With your next in-breath, now find a sense of lift up along your spine. Almost like you're allowing the air to lift the spine upwards, creating space between each vertebrae. And once you've found that sense of elongation, now bringing your breath into this vehicle, this vessel you've created now, and feeling your breath expanding, releasing, touching all the inner edges of the body. Almost like you're blowing up a balloon from inside the body. You want to feel that gentle sense of expansion of breath, expansion of your energy outwards as you breathe in. And the ebb, gentle release as you breathe out within you. If or when you notice that your mind is elsewhere, gently lifting your attention, guiding it back to your breath. And then anchoring awareness on the breath, becoming present. Staying with the breath. The breath has no past, no future. So each moment that you bring awareness to it, you're here, creating now. In the next moment or so, we're open eyes again. And then we'll just take another couple of breaths to again expand out the spine, the trunk of the body, the entire body. So again, with an in-breath, allow that sense of elongation up along your spine. And breathing out, relaxing into that space. And you're doing that each breath, creating space and relaxing into it. each breath, each moment. So bringing your knees together now, we're going to slide off the block and we're going to come into sitting, legs out in front of you. And toes can flex up towards the ceiling. Now, if you're feeling backs of the legs, hamstrings a little bit tight, a little bit of bend in the knees, you could even put your block underneath the knees to give a little bit of height. Now we'll take an in-breath and our arms are going to float up. So no effort to pull them up, just letting them float up. And once up there, breathing out, we'll take the palms together, elbows to the sides. Press lightly into the palms as you bring that palms down to heart, breathing out. Another in-breath, release the arms out in front, let them float up. Might have to take 1 or 2 rounds of breath there to get the whole way up, doesn't matter. Out breath, palms together. Lift up through your elbows as you drop the palms down and into the heart, breathing out, arriving. Couple more. Note at any time if your mind wants to race on a bit, you want to rush through, keep coming back to the rhythm of your breath to anchor your mind. The next in-breath, we'll let the arms float up. And this time, as if your spine is floating on a breeze, you're just going to let it fold forward. You can always sway from side to side here. Almost like you're a tree swaying in the breeze. And your hands will come down to rest on the feet, on the legs, whatever feels comfortable. But note wherever your arms are, if your shoulders have tightened, if so, a little bit of bend through the arms as you keep your sway, that nice gentle rhythm through the body. And you can let your neck move with the spine from side to side. So letting go of the weight of the head, connecting it to the spine. And feeling both as one entity. A couple more breaths here. And wherever your hands are now, we'll start to walk from up the legs, up towards your thighs. You can squeeze into your legs as you do so. Give them a little bit of a massage along the way. Coming up to the tops of the thighs and arriving back into sitting, we'll shrug the shoulders out. And we'll take another in-breath, lifting shoulders, out breath, shrugging them out behind us. Another in-breath, arms will float up. And again, letting the trunk sway its way down. All the way back down to the legs, to the feet. Again, just make sure the shoulders are soft. Let the neck relax as you sway for a few more breaths. Just following the flow of your breath. And you're starting to walk your hands back up again. Just squeeze into the thighs, the calves, you come up and back into sitting. And arriving in sitting, we'll take a deep in-breath in, out breath, short and sharp, through the mouth. And then you're going to arrive, knees out behind you, and onto all fours. Now arrive on all fours in tabletop. Your hands are spread quite wide here, so you've really got a bit of space across the collarbones to breathe into. Knees likewise can be a little bit wider than you would normally. Now use your belly here to support the base of your spine. So you're lightly drawing up the lower belly. Out breath, A little bit of a curve under, tuck under the sit bones as you curve your spine up to ceiling. And just bear with pause and we'll let the head hang. You can just let it sway a little bit from side to side. Keep breathing here. And then starting to tilt your pelvis up to ceiling, letting the spine lengthen and the gaze will look up. And once you're there, you're just going to sway your tail from side to side. So sit bones, pelvis, just easing a little bit from side to side, like your dog wagging its tail. Nice slow wag though, not a manic wag like my spaniel. Just nice gentle wag. Okay, coming into the curve of the spine again. Curve up the spine, let the head hang. And letting your head nod between the shoulders. Long deep breaths here. And from here, now tilting the pelvis up. The gaze will come up as your spine lengthens. Drop down into the shoulders, almost like you're drawing them back. And now you're letting your sit bones wag from side to side. Now lifting up your left hand, scooping it underneath the right. Come all the way down and onto your left temple. Now make yourself comfortable there. If you find the floor's a bit far away from the temple, then bring the floor up to you. Put a cushion or something underneath the head. And we'll slide the right arm out in front of us. Now there may be a little bit of a tilt through your pelvis here. So you're drawing both sit bones back equally, both hips drawing back, just to try to level out the pelvis a little bit. Breathing all the way through this outer edge of the body, all the way through the underside of the body, and the other side. And we'll start to slide the right hand back in. And pressing down into the right hand, lift the left hand back up. And you're back onto all fours. And once you're there, just let the pelvis now sway from side to side. Try the snake-like movement almost through your spine here, from side to side. Just following that snake-like movement, that sway from side to side, letting your head become part of that. Then we're going to come on to threading the needle on the other side. So this time, right arm lifting up. Press it underneath, take it underneath the left arm, down onto your right temple. Again, put a cushion down if you need. And once you're there, excuse me, I'll just rotate round. Once you're there, we'll slide the left arm out in front of you. Again, just be aware of your pelvis. See if you can draw both sit bones back equally. Notice if you're engaging anything that may not need to be engaged, whether it's tightening jaw, tightening any particular muscle group. Just noting that and seeing if you can soften it. They're easy to hold on to patterns, as it were, of tension, of tightness within the skeleton, within the body. Keep filling up the inner container of the body. Remember that balloon, like analogy. And we'll start to walk the left hand back in. And then you're lifting back up and onto all fours. Now again, finding that snake-like movement from side to side. Gentle sway. And you're taking that sway all the way up along the spine, all the way through the neck and into the skull. You may want to shut your eyes here. With the eyes shut, it's easier to feel rather than just to look, as it were. Now, waking up the spine a little bit further, we're going to come into threading the needle, but lifting up the arms, moving with our breath. So breathing out, we'll scoop the left hand underneath the right, come down onto the left temple, and then breathing in, lifting up the left arm, stretching skywards. Breathe out, let it come back under the right arm. And then on an in-breath, let it lift back up. Now again, you'll probably want to sneak a few breaths in here or there. Don't feel you've got to sneak them in, just breathe fully, deeply. So you're moving with your breath, letting your breath energize you. And slowing everything down to the rhythm of the breath. We'll do one more. And right arm can come down to join the left. We're going to do the same with the other side. So out breath, right arm underneath left, so down onto the right temple. And in breath, lifting up that right arm up towards the sky. Another out breath, find its way underneath the left arm. And coming back up, breathing in. And we'll come into the final round here, and we'll meet back and on all fours in a moment. So you're arriving back in tabletop now. We'll just come into cat and cow now, moving with the breath. Out breath, spine will curve up. Let go of the weight of your head back. Breathing in, drawing shoulders back as you lengthen out through the spine. Another out breath, curving your spine up to the ceiling. Let go of the head, let the shoulders soften. And then in breath, pelvis tilting up, lengthening out. Let the shoulders draw back there. And feeling your breath, feeling your energy expanding, releasing through the core of the body. We'll take one more round. And then, keeping your pelvis high, so your pelvis is more or less above your knees. Do put some extra cushions underneath the knees if you need to. Start to slide the hands forward, far away from you, right up to the top of the mat. The forehead will come down towards the floor. Again, use cushions if you need to bring the earth up towards you. And you're letting your spine hang between the shoulders, like it's in a hammock. Just turn my head to the side, so kind of see what's going on here. But keep your head level with the neck, with the spine. Start to slide your hands back in and onto all fours. Replant your hands. Draw the shoulders back, tucking under toes, and a little bit of lift up through the knees so they're hovering just off the mat. Now keep your gaze forward. If that feels too strong, just bring the knees down, but put a little bit more weight forwards into the hands, into the shoulders. Just building a little bit of strength up through the upper body. Knees hovering, keep breathing fully. Keep the gaze forward. And whatever version you're doing here, will start to lift knees and you're drawing your thighs up and back. And you're arriving in down dog. Now a little bit of bend through the knees, don't lock them out. And use that bit of bend through the knees to bounce up on the balls of the feet. And as you relax into the shape, you can start to draw the thighs back. And as you draw the thighs back, you'll notice that your spine can lengthen a little bit more. So if you took the thighs forward again, spine will start to curve a little bit. But drawing them back, up as well. Suddenly a bit more space for the spine to hang down. Keep that little bit of bounce going, one more breath. And then looking forwards and root back into your heels. Really draw the heels down. So you're now straightening out the backs of the legs. Nice big hamstring stretch here. Keep the shoulders as soft as you can. And then in breath, we'll take little baby steps up towards the hands. And you're rising, hips width apart, into forward fold. So your spine is hanging here in your forward fold. Your hands can be wherever you feel they need to be to support you. Backs of legs, fronts of calves, down to the floor. Wherever feels right, but note that your shoulders are relaxed, that you're not pulling forwards with the shoulders. Let the head hang. And bringing weight from one foot to the other. So you're lightly swaying from side to side. And we'll start to let the arms hang just in front of us off the floor. And you're going to use this sway from side to side to give you a little bit of momentum, to start to stack the vertebrae one on top of the other. And you're rolling your spine up and into standing. And you're arriving up at the top of the mat, feet hips width apart, into Dasana. We'll shrug the shoulders up to the ears. You'll breathe in as you do so. And breathing out, drawing them back, setting them back in their sockets, freeing up the neck. We'll do another in-breath, lifting shoulders high towards ears, drawing your belly as you do so. Then breathing out, squeezing shoulder blades together to draw them back. Now, feeling that space along the back of the neck, start to drop your chin forwards into your throat, keeping your shoulders back as you do so. Try not to let them creep forward. And chin to throat. Feel the stretch across the top of the shoulders, through the neck, through the scapula. And now, taking your chin up towards the sky. So you're gazing up now. The last breath, allowing your jaw to open, the mouth opening. And then chin coming back to a level point. And you're arriving back into Tadasana. A little bend through the knees. And as you bend your knees, keeping your spine still nice and upright, so your sit bones are slightly tucking underneath you rather than sticking out at all. An in-breath, arms will float up. And out breath, we'll take the arms out to the sides of the body, palms are facing up, a nice big circle through the arms, letting them come down very slowly, with ease. And they're riding back down. Another in-breath, arms will float up. Keep sitting in your chair. Another out breath, arms out to the sides of the body. Keep the length along the neck. Now, blowing up your balloon from the inside. Next round of breath, the arms still floating up. And breathing out. Feeling that release of the balloon from the inside as your arms float down. One more round. This in-breath, scanning the front of the body, breathing in, letting your arms float up above the skull. And out breath, we'll scan down the front of the body. And you'll let your spine fold as you do so, and you're going to arrive into your forward fold. Arriving in your forward fold, soft shoulders here, soft body, a little bit of bend through the knees. Your arms can hang. And we'll take the right hand over towards the left side of the body, to the left leg, the left foot, down to the floor of the left-hand side. Doesn't matter where at all. In breath, left arm floating up. Out breath, left arm floating down. And you'll come over to the right-hand side of the body. The switching sides, right arm will float up, breathing in. Right arm will float down, breathing out. We'll do another round, both sides. In breath, left arm floating up, taking it down to the right. And another in-breath, right arm floating up. Right arm coming over to the left-hand side of the body. Take your left hand, take it over to the right-hand side of the body. So you've got crossed arms here. Bend your elbows out and down to draw your spine down a little bit further into forward fold. With your next round of breath, we'll release the hands out in front of us. We're pressing weight down into the hands. We'll step the feet back and you're arriving into down dog. Gain that little bit of bend through your knees as you draw your thighs up and back, letting your spine hang. And we're now going to find this sway through the spine from side to side,
And following that sway all the way up into your neck. It's like your spine's waving from side to side. And then with your next round of breath, both knees working together, start to lower them down. Take your time to do so. Feel the weight of the body come forward onto the shoulders. And your knees will come down. And one big toe pad on top of the other, knees slightly out to the side, we'll stretch the arms out in front of us, sitting back on the heels, arriving in child, extended child. Bend your fingertips now with the next breath. So you're just up onto the fingertips, a bit like you're going to play the piano. The heel is still down on the floor though. And now slide your fingers away from you. Feel your fingertips reconnect with the mat. And feeling weight pressing forwards into the fingertips, we'll come up and onto all fours. We'll tuck under the toes. Drawing our weight back now, the knees will lift. We're arriving back into down dog. And lifting up your right hand, we'll take it up to the left thigh, the top of the left thigh, and we're sliding it down the outer edge of the left leg towards the ankle. It doesn't matter where it wants to come there. Root down into the fingertips on the left hand. Look underneath your left armpit. One more breath. And releasing your right hand back out to the mat and coming down onto all fours again. Take your time with your knees as they arrive down. Come into cat and cow now for just a couple of rounds of breath. We'll take one more round of cat and cow together. In breath, right arm will lift out in front of you. Out breath, right arm will come down. In breath, left leg will stretch out behind you. Out breath, left knee will come down. In breath, right arm and left leg are going to lift out and out in front of you, behind you. If that feels too much, just do one or the other. We breathe in, they lift up. We breathe out, they come down. Another in breath, lifting them up. Out breath, arriving down. One more. And arriving back on all fours, lift up your left hand now, make it into a little fist, so your thumb's inside the palm and then your fingers wrapped over, and just stretch out through the fingers from side to side. Release them out. Left hand coming down. In breath, left arm lifting up. Stretch it out in front of you, out breath coming back down. In breath, right leg stretching out behind you. Out breath, coming back down. So coming into around 2 to 3 rounds now, lifting them both up, or lifting one up or the other, or alternating them. Still keeping your awareness on your breath, filling up the container from the inside. and arriving back down. When you arrive down, do the same fist with the right hand. So thumb into the palm, wrap the fingers round, release out the fingers a few times. Both hands down to the mat, toes tucking under, and lifting back up into your down dog, a little bit of bend through the knees again. Draw the thighs up and back. And looking forward, starting to walk feet up towards the top of the mat. And you're arriving back into Uttanasana. This time we'll take the hands around the backs of the legs. They're going to catch hold of ankles, the backs of the shins, wherever feels right to you, and anchoring them down, letting the spine hang down. Then releasing the arms out in front, we'll start to roll the spine. Let it be heavy as you do so, all the way up and back into standing. Hands arriving at the heart. Couple of moments to allow your eyes to shut. Resting in the tide of the breath. Whichever else you're feeling, allowing it to pass through, being present to it. But your breath holding you present. I'm going to step out now along the long edge of the mat, and hands will be at the heart, and we'll turn the toes out a little bit, and we're going to bend the knees a little bit. So hands here are still at the heart. Now you could call this as kind of a swimming snake kind of movement. Elbows are out to the sides here. We'll lean to one side, we'll let the neck lean, we'll lean to the other side. And just moving from side to side, as if you were a snake swimming through water. Just letting the current of your breath guide your body. Anchoring your body's weight down into the feet. Halfway or so across our lake. Let your body curve, move from side to side. Amazingly good, this one. It's just really opening up energy along the spine. Though being honest, it's more qigong rather than yoga. And we come back, approaching the bank of the other side of our lake, and we're arriving back and into stillness. Hands at the heart. Deep out breath, sink a bit lower into your seat. Let the knees bend a little bit more. Another deep breath in. Going to come up into a star shape now, so straightening up the legs, arms lifting up above the head, looking skywards.
and out breath, hands scanning down the front of the body. And we're going to take them down to the belly. And once we're there, we'll just hold the hands over the belly, eyes will shut. Bringing our energy down to rest in the belly, grounding us. Soft gaze, opening eyes again. And we'll turn the right foot out so it's facing out along the long edge of the mat. Hands will come up to the heart, the palms will just face down. Now, index finger to the thumb, and we're going to open the hands now away from one another. As we do so, lunging into the front knee. So breathing in, a little gentle lunge into the front knee, and the arms will open out to either sides of the body. Gaze down that right arm, breathing out. Front leg will straighten as the arms cross down and lift up to the heart. Rotating to the other side, another in breath, lengthen out the arms, gazing down the left arm, breathing out. Arms crossing back down, rotate the feet, left foot pointing forward. In breath, arms opening out again. Out breath, arms coming back down, rotate over to the other side. Hands up to the chest, opening out. Carry on working with your breath from side to side. And finishing off the round that you're doing. Arriving back in your center point now, feet are still a little distance away from one another, and we'll turn the toes out ever so slightly. Breathe out, sink a little bit lower down into your knees. Now, a little bit of curve through the shoulders, rounding through the elbows, but not so they're tight at all. Nice loose arms here. Done quite a lot of work in opening up shoulders, across the shoulder girdle, into the scapula, trapezius. So we don't want to lose that now by suddenly tightening them up, letting them rise up. So nice deep in breath, take the gaze round, the body round to look out over your right shoulder. Breathe in at that height or at that point, and then breathing out, body coming in a big semicircle over towards your left leg. You'll look out behind your left shoulder, breathe in, and breathing out, transferring weight over to the other side, scooping the spine over, breathe in, and swinging your spine in front of the body, breathing out to the left. Breathe in as you look over the shoulder, and so on from side to side. you just finish the round now that you're doing. And you'll come back to the center line. And you're arriving back up into standing again. And your snake's now just going to take a short swim from one side of a pond to the other. Nice, gentle, relaxed swim. And then arriving into stillness. Dropping one hand down to the belly, one hand remaining on the heart. And feeling your breath rising up from the belly to heart, rising down. I don't know if rising down actually can exist, but rising up and down again. Feeling your breath behind you. So feeling your breath, your energy, through all this internal container of the body, not just in one dimension, multidimensional. What we're doing here in a way is opening up awareness beyond what we actually see with our eyes. Opening up awareness of how boundless our energy is. It's not just what we see through our senses or feel through our senses. Nice big in-breath, letting go of the arms, and we'll take a big circle up through the arms above the head. And breathing out, folding down and into forward fold. And once there, just find your way down and into sitting, legs out in front of you. Nice big in-breath, the arms will lift up. Just moving the head a little bit from side to side. And breathing out, bowing your spine forwards, bowing the head inwards and arriving in a forward fold. Next in-breath, sliding hands back up the legs. And we bend the knees and we're coming down onto the spine and we draw the knees in towards the chest. Dropping your left knee down to the floor, your left foot to the floor, knee bent to the ceiling. Hugging your right knee still into the core of the body. Hands can be over the shin. We'll take that right knee over towards the right hand side and the left knee will follow. So the legs will be a little bit separate here. Bit of space between the knees. And then we'll stretch out the left arm in a T shape, palm up. We gaze down towards the left fingers. Right hand can remain on the right knee, so you've got that sense of support. Bring both knees back in. Right foot now to the floor, the right knee's bent to the ceiling, and we're hugging in the left knee now towards the core. Now take your left hand over to the left knee on top of it, and you're guiding that left knee out to the side of the body. Bit of space between the knees again. The right knee will follow down though, towards the left side. Once you've arrived, right arm stretching out into a T shape, and we'll take the gaze down the right arm. And then find your way, both knees coming back to the center line. Just lifting up both knees and a little gentle rock on the base of your spine from side to side. And when you're ready to, we'll bring the feet down to the floor and we're stretching out each leg in turn. Toes coming together first and then taking your toes apart from one another. So your feet turn out either side. Arms arriving by the sides of the body and your palms up towards the ceiling. And with your eyes shutting, resting in stillness for a few moments. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana for a little bit longer, then do feel free to do so. Find your own way up in your own time. But if you need to get on with the rest of your day, then bring in a little bit of movement into your body. Thumbs over the tops of your fingers. Moving toes from side to side. Follow the tide of your breath into the body. And follow it leaving the body. Feel the freshness, the newness of your next breath. Letting go of anything that doesn't need to be engaged or held. When you're ready to move now, we'll bend the knees. And you can roll over onto one side of the body. Take a few resting breaths there. And then finding your way up and into sitting again. And arriving in sitting, we bring hands up to the heart. Light touch fingertips with one another. A little bit of lift up through the elbows. And as you sit, just allowing yourself to very gently sway from side to side, almost like an echo of your swimming snake. Feeling the flow of the spine, the flow of your energy, the flow of the mind. Perceiving this. And into this flow, turning the palms onto the chest, into the heart. And breathing into the heart and bowing the head forwards. Feeling your heart, its energy at the center of the flow of your life. And do this, greeting it and greeting yourself and greeting each other. And closing your practice when you're ready. Thank you.